Hey, everybody. Fascinating topic today on this Friday around autonomy and AI in our communication networks. We're talking autonomous driving all the time. What about autonomous driving of communications networks today with Franco from Infovista? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Evan. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Chilly here in Boston, which you know, you lived here a number of years. But before we dive into all things autonomous networking, maybe introduce yourself and give us a snapshot of InfoVista.
Very good. Thank you, Evan. I'm working in Infovista since a couple of years when Infovista acquired Empirix. And my role in Infovista is to help all the company, all the teams on setting up the right strategic objective in terms of product direction and go-to-market direction. I've been in this industry since a long time, over 40 years. I see all the evolution from, let me say, analog and then digital, then packet, and now finally to the autonomous network. I'm pretty sure that I will have the opportunity to see in the next, 5, 10 years, this event happening. Uh, I'm working in all the different areas from technology point of view, as well as from the marketing, as well as on the commercial side.
Well, I'm so delighted to have you here, and I look forward to your insight. So, give us a foundational understanding. What's an autonomous network, and where have we come from? What is the driver for automation and autonomy in the world of telecom?
Very good. I tell you that when somebody is arising to me this question, I normally make an example. Think about the normal transport. I mean, the
Mhm.
humanity moved from moving by walking and then with the horses and then, with the car and trains and boat, of course, in the middle, then airplane. And everything has been set not only as a technology, but you need a lot of logistics to allow this type of transportation. Now, the next frontier for the humanity is to drive into the space, to drive from one planet to another planet. But technology-wise, it's feasible, but the most difficult thing is all the logistics side. Everything about the logistics must change because
Mm.
fundamentally you don't have, mechanic in the middle of the space that can fix your problem. You don't have water, logistic filling. Autonomous network is the same type of journey that we're doing on telecom. We're moving from the mechanical, switches to the electronic switches. Now we move to the digital. We move now to the transformation from physical to virtual. But autonomous network is a complete different game because we are talking about the possibility to have a network that are self-defined and are self-managed without any human intervention. Fundamentally, technology is there, but what is not there is the capability of all the operator, all the work to really build and manage the logistics around this. Logistics means the control, be sure that it works as expected, and fundamentally, and keep a sort of overall, let me say, management on top of something that becomes full autonomous. So definitely is a fascinating idea. We are talking about this in the industry since over 10 years or almost
Mm.
20 years. Fundamentally, we try to achieve that in enterprise space. Now is the time of the telco space, but it's a long journey. And as I said, it's not a technology issue, it's more a logistic and management type of issue.
Wow, great vision there. So let's talk about that. Getting to reality. It is a pretty big task given all the legacy infrastructure, the technical debt that exists in telecom. So, from your perspective, describe the journey that operators need to take to move to an autonomous network.
Yeah, there are three fundamental blocks here. The number one is technology at the network level. The second one is a technology and the organization at management level. And the third one is fundamentally technology at the way in which we deliver the service and we charge for the services. Because at the end of the day, autonomous network bring a different level fundamentally of capability to provide services with different quality, different performance and speed. So where we stand here, the technology at the network level is fundamentally there. There are all the basic components to allow both the access side, so the RAN or the wireline, it doesn't matter, and the core side to really work without any specific human intervention is there. What is not there yet, it's fundamental the technology to manage the end-to-end, let me say, connectivity and data flow from the user to the other user, to the one endpoint to the other endpoint, because to manage the entire infrastructure, you need to have a complete control of all the different phases. So what the operators are doing now, as you know, they are, first of all, they are moving from physical to vehicle. I think that's the major challenge that we are having in our industry. Moving to software only type of solution means have application that communicate together running on top of a virtual infrastructure that can be owned by the operator or shared with somebody else, or even in a hybrid situation. This type of application need to be fundamentally managed and controlled in such a way that when the network delivers specific service in autonomous mode, I still have a full control of the quality and the level of services that I'm providing fundamentally as the subscriber has signed the contract with me. This part of components are there, but still we miss the glue for really be sure that everything is there. For that reason, I'm pretty sure that you and everybody are listening here. In the last 1 year, the magic word are API, because API should create the glue between all the different applications fundamentally. So the open API is one of the fundamental components. The AI, because the complexity of creating so many connections and keep the connection up and running without the right quality and performance, without draining all the resources that you have available fundamentally in the network, it's something that you cannot do manual. I mean, you cannot just do manual. You need to have automatic system driven by a very intelligent type of application. And the third component that is key, so it's fundamentally the capability to automate the network together with the operational side. You cannot disconnect the two things. You cannot have an automatic network and a manual operation, or automatic operation and manual network. The two things are running at the same time.
Wow, great points, all of them. So, describe how you at Infovista, and working with, many hundreds of operators around the world, how do you facilitate getting to those higher level of network autonomy? What's your approach? What's your technology that you bring to bear here?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, we don't build a network component in terms of network function.
Hmm.
Fundamentally, we work from the operational point of view. If you think the normal process that you have in any operating this world is you start to design a network or a piece of network, right? You design the network. Then fundamentally, you have to validate the design, be sure that the network works as expected. And normally that is done through what we call the validation phase. Then you go to the production. So you build the network as you design it fundamentally, and then you have to control the network in such a way that not only you validate what you designed, but also you optimize what you designed. Because when you start to have a real traffic, real user, you can see that you need to make some adjustment. These are the three activities that Infovista does. So we have technology and the products that are providing the ability to design the network. We have component products and functions that are fundamentally validate the design. And then we have a part of our product that is fundamentally ensure and control that the network is delivering what is expected to deliver. What we are doing now, we have linked all the three components together in an automatic way. So that means instead to see the three steps as a manual step, like it's been for many years, now you can do the validation, link it automatically with the design, and then you can do the assurance, link it out automatically with fundamentally the validation and design. So you have no more disconnection, and you have a full continuity between all the three phases. And the three phases are feeding each other in a continuous loop, like an autonomous network does, because at the end of the day, the network condition change based on the traffic pattern and what the customer wants. And so, like the network change, all the operational side have to change. So that is what we are bringing to the market: the capability to have a complete monitor assurance system that is fully following the network status that change automatically based on the traffic condition the subscriber fundamentally needs.
Brilliant. So the benefits to the operator seem pretty obvious, reduced OpEx, optimizing CapEx, reducing their network expense. It's win-win on their end. But what about the customers, the end users, like ourselves, the mobile customers, the small businesses, large businesses, the society of towns and cities that use communication services? What's the glimpse of their win and their opportunity as customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me just tell you one thing. The new technology, particularly the cloudification of telecom, are bringing fundamentally something that, again, we are talking since many years, but that's become reality. The splitting of the operator in three different type of, let me say, key activity. And when I say splitting, means sometimes it's just a split in terms of internal operation. Some other time is physically a different company. There are telco that are splitting into different company. There are the network operator. I mean, the real operator that provide the connectivity. More and more we are provided on the cloud, and that is a number one activity. The second is the operator that provide the service, and the service can be any type of service, not just the traditional telecom service like voice and video and data, but fundamentally new type of services like fundamentally the video streaming and so on. And then you have fundamentally the content provider. So until now, the network provider, service provider were normally collapsing into a single company. Now we are seeing that it's changing a lot. And fundamentally, the big value that we are bringing is for the network provider, we provide the capability to really reduce dramatically, almost to zero, fundamentally, the OpEx, because we can automate good part of the operation that are linked to manage the network, in particular manage the autonomous networks. At the service level, we provide, we bring a lot of value because we can provide a real-time analysis and adjustment of the service level agreement fundamentally, because there are service that you have to deliver fundamentally what it's the real service that the subscriber. So we provide the value to the service provider in understanding and checking continuously all the different services, all the different customer based on the specific contract that the customer has. And the third level fundamentally is the content. So be sure that the content is delivered with the right expectation of the subscriber, and that's what we call the Q or quality experience or NPS. So who are the players? Today, the players are the service provider and fundamentally the new large enterprise network. But in the next few years, we will see more and more the splitting between this type of economical subject that I said, network provider, service provider, and content provider. All the three are fundamentally the target that we have, are customer of our solution and technology, and will be more and more. Of course, that also is linked to the private network concept, because more the network become autonomous, more easier will be to build within that network autonomous type of technology, private network that are a subset fundamentally of this one. So the reason why everybody are talking about private network is because with the autonomous network, private network will be much more easier to do, to deliver, and much more, let me say, cheaper from the financial investment point of view that enterprises to do. So this is the other fundamentally type of target that we have, is the private network, in particular for right now the mid-size and the large size enterprise.
Oh, great points there. So let's talk a little outside of tech, the impact on the regulatory environment. You see lots of change and disruption happening there. The workforce, a changing workforce, different skills needed as autonomous networking rise, different roles for network engineers and even professionals in the telcos. Of course, you see that more than anywhere in Italy, where you live. It's a very challenged, different environment than it was in the past. Any insights or thoughts on that whole landscape?
Yeah, no, that is another great point. That's another question that many very often people bring on the table is say, when autonomous network will become real, it's going to be 100%, it's going to be,
Mhm.
what's going to be the future. Remember that traditional network will never disappear, and will never
Mm.
disappear until we have the such regulation. Country have different type of regulation, different type of rules, and I want to make an example. Somebody say, why we are still have 2G on? Now we have 3G, 4G, 5G, potentially 6G. Because in some country, 2G is ruled by government because 2G fundamentally it's a guarantee you a connectivity that is cannot be guaranteed with the YCDMA type of technology. So it's a technology
Mm.
issue. Analog is there and will be there for a long time, long time. I sometimes still remind that there are still key activity, crucial activity in the world running on telex. Telex, that
Mm.
is a word that many of the young people still don't even know, but it's still there. So for that reason, I'm saying we have to be very careful. The autonomous network is definitely a reality. It will become more and more reality. It will be part of our life, but the part of the traditional legacy network will still there for a long time, for many years. I don't know if it's going to be 10 years or more, but definitely for a long time. Then back to your point, here our industry, not just our customer, but even the manufacturer are facing a major problem finding talent. And the reason is because the technology is very complex. The complexity of putting together an IT cloud, running telecom component, and providing a telecom level of service as expected by the telecommunication industry is a challenge. It's not so simple. So fundamentally, one area in which all the operators are looking for, it's to find partners like Infovista that bring the knowledge necessary to really drive them, help them to be moved to move to the autonomous network automation in a smooth way, because the internal knowledge that the operator have is not enough to be fully, let me say, alone in that type of journey. So one area that I think that we can say Infovista is very good, it's really coaching, helping, become a partner also in understanding what is the best way to move fundamentally from the current network design situation and control to the new one without be forced to fundamentally inject all the knowledge in the company that requires too long time, and it is not affordable by many operators. So that is another role that I think that we play very well. It's bring the knowledge necessary to really help in that transition.
Very nice. Move fast, but don't break things, unlike the Silicon Valley mantra.
Yeah.
You work with so many operators. You must have so many success stories and anecdotes on what's happening. Any particular you care to call out without picking a favorite? I know you have many customers. With any practical examples you can share at this point?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely we have many examples. I want to bring, of course, without sharing names, but I want to make some examples. We are
Mhm.
working with one of the largest operators in the world, European based, but with presence everywhere in the world, in which they moved in the last, of course, like everybody, in the last 20 years, to having 60%, 70% of the revenue coming from the wireline. Now they moved that it's 30 on the wireline and 70 on the mobile space, but large majority of the profitability still comes from the wireline. So fundamentally here, it's how we can really create a system that can automate the operational, and the operational aspect on the wireline and wireless are quite different, are very quite different. Remember that in a normal mobile network, the changes happening at the radio level, the RAN level, are 1,000 per day. In the wireline, it's much more stable. We are talking about 100 per day. So it's completely different.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you break a fiber optics, you break not one customer, you break per 1,000 customers. So fundamentally, the value, it's a little bit different, even if fundamentally the way the operation is different. So what we've done with them, it's because we have with them a very extensive system to monitoring live all the traffic that they have, we create more and more automation between the showing up of specific event or alarm call, let me say call alarm, to make that simple, and understanding the alarm, it's real, what is the value of the alarm? Is that an alarm that affects the one customer, or is affecting 10 customers, is affecting a customer that give £1 million or $1 million per year or euro per year, is affecting one that is €50 per year. Decided the type of priority, then create all the, let me say, build all the information necessary to an expert to really understand what happened, create automatically the ticketing and manage the ticket up to the end that can be automatically closed if at the end of the day the alarm was not so important, or bring to the next level of analysis, but with all the enriched information. So the person that we will take the alarm and we take the ticket, we'll have all the information already built in. So don't spend any time to look around to find all the necessary data to understand. So this type of automation, it seems simple, but in reality is a game changer, because with the same person, now the company, instead to managing 10 tickets per day, can manage 100 tickets per day or 1,000 tickets per day. Because 900 probably they are automatically managed by the system. So that is a type of game changer that the operator are looking for, because they cannot increase the capex. In some aspect, they have to decrease, but they have much more traffic to manage, much more user to manage. So they need that level of automation fundamentally to really have the value and add more value to the operational side.
Wow, sounds like an amazing opportunity. So we're right in 2024. I just made my travel arrangements for MWC, so I hope to see you there in
Yep.
Barcelona. But what else are you looking forward to? Any travel or trips or events on your radar?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mobile World Congress will be there. FutureNet definitely in London
Mm,
will be there as well. It's a good event. We have different events that we plan it to be. I mean, 2024 for us is very important because I think that we are the only company in our space that have all the three aspects I mentioned before: the network design and the validation and the assurance fully
mm,
cloud-based, and sharing the same fundamentally common cloud platform that we designed in the last few years. And when I say cloud-based, means a real cloud native. I mean a real, microservice and the real Kubernetes type of stuff. And the capability to really link together all these phases is a game
mm,
changer for everyone, because and not necessarily you must have our own product. I mean, you can have also, of course, other vendor. The most important thing that we get this information, we understand the information coming
mm.
from the planning, coming from validation, coming from insurance, and we merge together, we link together, we create value of this. So these are what we are presenting around the world. Fundamentally, for that reason, we have several events, either online or in person, planned for the next 12 months. For us, 2024 it's a key year. We have changed a lot. We are spending a lot of resources in engineering resources, and not only in the company, to really move fast and leverage more and more AI and automation. So our two elements that we bring to the market today is our system are fully cloud native, are fully automated, and we can automate process, procedure, workflow, and even closed loop automation with the network components in such a way that with autonomous network can reconfigure the network, and we can double check if the configuration has generated the right expected result, and using more and more intelligence to decrease the need to have expertise that today are very difficult to catch within the service provider. So these are the areas in which we are working, the area that we present in all the events that we will attend from now on.
Well, fantastic insights. I learned a lot, and thank you so much for sharing a peek into the future of autonomous networks. It's going to be an exciting year, exciting decade in telecom. The most, interesting work is ahead of us. So, good luck in that journey. Thanks, Franco.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you very much for your time.
And thanks everyone for watching. Reach out to Infovista. They have some great content and white papers and insights on their various social media properties. Take care, everyone, and see you at MWC.